My name's Beth, and I'm a programming coordinator for the St. Johns County Public Library System, where we're celebrating St. John's Reads Secrets. One of the books that we're featuring this month is the book Little Fires Everywhere, and the character Mia Warren is a great photographer. I'm about to meet with New York-based photographer Cary Whittier, who's going to show us some secrets of great photography, especially when you use your phone. Cary is a professional photographer whose work has been shown in Art Forum, Art in America, Architectural Digest, the New York Times, Vogue Living, the Washington Post, many other periodicals. So I'm super excited, and let's go ahead and meet Cary and learn some great tips for photography.
So, one of the first things someone can do to take a better picture on a cell phone or any camera is just to get closer to the subject, because far too often we see a person or an object we want to shoot and we shoot it from right where we're standing, and often we can get a little bit closer to get more emphasis on that person as the subject, or just to make them the subject. I see so many pictures all the time of a person that took a picture of their dog, and it's just blended in with the leaves or the background because they're at such a distance. The first thing you could do to make a better picture of that dog is just get closer to the dog. So with that said, sometimes people will notice that their iPhone has a feature of being able to zoom in. And that might be great if you really can't approach the subject. But in reality, all you're doing with a digital zoom is you're getting a photo. Essentially, the end result is if you had taken that photo from a distance and just went in and cropped in on that image. You're not actually zooming in on that image. It's better to get closer to the subject.
What do you mean? Can you show me something?
Okay, for an example. So I can take this shot here. Or, I can zoom in and get it here. Now, while that looks nice to us now, I'm actually liable to shake it. The digital zoom is real susceptible to handheld or camera shake. That picture is going to look the same as this picture, but cropped. And what I would advocate you do, or advise you to do, is to actually get close to the subject and then expose. Now, what you're wondering about me holding there, I'm locking focus, and all iPhones have this ability to lock focus. You can press here, and by holding this, I've locked focus here, and I've given myself the ability to lower exposure or to raise exposure. So a feature you may have noticed in this last segment is this feature that's embedded in the iPhone's native camera, and it's the ability to select focus in a photo and lock that focus as well as control exposure. I'm going to demonstrate it here. So here we have this holiday ornament, and we're going to lock focus by holding till that square does a double lock. Or if we wanted to do focus here on Russell, hold until you see the square bounce twice, and he's now the focus. I'm also going to have the slider appear, which allows us to control exposure. I sometimes recommend dropping exposure because it means a faster shutter speed and less handshake.
So what do you mean by dropping exposure? Less light or more light?
Dropping exposure is less light.
Okay.
Adding more exposure means sliding the slider up.
Okay, so you recommend to have less light, so for the photo to be darker.
Sometimes it's better to underexpose. That's probably the perfect exposure. But we can also, when you lock focus, it's also going to do an exposure reading. So it's locking the exposure for this versus him.
Gotcha.
Once again, lock exposure on him by holding the focus square or the ornament.
This is just a recording of Cary's phone, so you can see what he was actually doing.
So it seems like you're, maybe doing a little bit more work than the average person who's just kind of whipping out their phone and taking a picture. But it's, just those little tweaks really can make a difference.
Well, it is something that at first may take a little practice, but it'll become more intuitive once you know the features there, and it will add a little more dynamicism to your photos. Being able to, in one particular scene, lock focus with an emphasis on the subject either in the front or the back of the photo, and not letting the camera itself have to decide what's the focal point. So another handy feature embedded in the iPhone or most cell phones is the self-timer feature, which is great for getting group shots of people where you want everybody in the photo, including the camera person. Or if you're trying to get a nice steady shot of a landscape or something small and you don't want the camera to be subject to any kind of camera shake or movement from yourself. And it's found here. If you hit that button, you'll see this icon that looks like a little timer, little circular icon. And when you touch it, it'll give you the option of 3 to 10 seconds. For this demo, we're going to do 10 seconds to give us time to sit down and take the shot here. So in this little situation, I'm going to use a coffee cup as a tripod, but you could use a real tripod. And what we'll do is we'll set the scene here. We'll find our self-timer, set it to 10 seconds. He's set, and now I'm about to set. Boom, we got it.
This is another recording from Cary's phone showing the self-timer feature.
Well, thank you so much, Cary. I feel like I have definitely learned a lot, and we appreciate your time and your expertise.
You're very welcome. Peace.
If you are interested in reading Little Fires Everywhere, the book that inspired this program today, it's part of one of the books as part of St. John's Reads 2022 program Secrets. Just ask anybody at your local library, or you can look online on our catalog, www.sjcpls.org. Thanks so much for watching.